Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tim and Mike Show. I'm Tim.
And I'm
All
Mike.
right, we got a great show for you guys today. We're talking about Avatar 2, The Way of Water. Let's get right into it.
Yes.
What's up,
Yes.
Mike? What do you think about the movie?
Well, we went to go see this movie in the theater,
Sure, we did.
and we decided to go 4DX because, based off the original, the 3D was the epitome at the time of 3D, right? And so we wanted to kind of experience the 3D, the 4DX, the moving cheers, then basically the new age of watching
Before,
movies.
let's put the brakes there. For everybody who doesn't know, what is 40X?
Right. So 4DX is a chair. Well, it's group of chairs that you're sitting in with, people. So you're in the theater with a bunch of people. They're groups of four, right? And they're raised above ground level because they're actuated. They move left to right, a little forward. They shake. They've got air blowing in your ear. You smell weird smells like if you're in the forest, you might smell like piney kind of, something like that. And then there's fog machines. So you see the smoke, and with a 3D, you get, the way the 3D is now is you get the little bit of fire droplets out, and it's it's subtle 3D. I feel is the best way to put 3D
Right,
today. I
more
like it so much better.
more atmospheric, right? So it's more
Right,
immersive.
exactly,
So yeah, so
100%
40X,
atmosphere.
kind of to extend on that, there's a whole aromatherapy element to that. Um,
Yes, very very strange.
there's gusts of airs coming from behind you, from in front of you, and behind you, which I thought the most disturbing.
It's disturbing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Um,
because at first we laughed our ass off. Do you remember?
oh, I couldn't
Because
stop.
it was like somebody was just whispering in your ear or blowing in your ear or something. It was
It
strange.
was the chair that I
Strange
couldn't get
sensation
over. It
for
was the
sure.
chair,
Dude, I was
like
dying for like 10 minutes straight. I could not stop laughing. I think a lot of the people in the theater, you could tell like that was their first time watching
right.
it because it felt like the experience was the
Mhm.
same. But
But the movie
I say
itself. But the movie itself.
so now that we've kind of discussed the way we watched it, what did you think about the movie overall?
So I think the movie. I think it was. I thought it was really, really good. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I think there was a moment there when I totally was, because honestly, the 40X at first took me out of it. I wasn't really
Yeah,
into the moving around too much. I'm trying to sit down and watch a movie, right? And
right.
so it kind of took me out of it. But at some point, I just got totally immersed into the story and visually blown away, almost frame by
Oh,
frame. It,
it's
it,
beautiful. The
oh
water
my gosh,
is
the movie is gorgeous.
perfect, right?
Yeah, the
You ever seen water like that?
no, and the fact is,
The water scene
because
is
that wasn't at
amazing.
all real water.
No, so they shot in water tanks, but
They
obviously
no,
it was
they didn't
digitized,
shoot
right?
in water tanks. They mocapped in water tanks. They motion
What does that mean?
captured. So that means that they wore the
Okay,
suits, took that information into a computer, and built the environment.
okay,
Nobody was shooting
okay.
anywhere.
So even their motions were fluid.
That's why they were all
Okay, that's
underwater.
very
Yeah,
cool.
so they
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
realistic feel, because that's half
yeah,
the
yeah,
selling
yeah. That's
point, right?
awesome.
Yeah,
Right, because how you're going to digitize, it's not going to be the same
you can
as
have people do this, and you know,
That's very cool.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. See, so I watched a little bit of the making, but I only watched a very, very brief part of them being in the water. So I assumed they digitally overlaid something on that water because clearly, that water's like, it'd be like in a big giant bathtub, like these huge tanks, it's dirty, it's clear water, but it's not like that. I mean, that was like space water, right?
It's space water. Well, yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it seems like the atmosphere is a little bit thicker than Earth, so could be different water.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a very cool little planet for sure.
yeah, dude. But like the movie, I mean, let's just get it. It's a James Cameron picture, right? It's brilliant. I mean, it was really good.
How do you feel with it compared to the first?
I feel like they were pretty. Whereas
Was it worth the
a lot of
wait? Is what
supporting
I'm saying.
elements between the two, but I felt like the movie was pretty had its own footing to stand on. You could really stand alone in that movie, and
Oh yeah, I
you know,
agree.
and they weren't resting too much on the original's laurels, and I thought the story was really good. It was, some of the angsty stuff of the son was kind of not for me, but you know,
Right.
it was what it was. I feel like I feel like this world building that Cameron's doing is really cool too. Now he's made your antagonist a Na'vi, and and kept him living. It's almost like a Saturday morning cartoon at this point, right? So, you know,
Yeah, it's a pretty cool storyline.
yeah,
So what is he? He's supposed to do what? Three more?
I believe it's five.
So
So
five
so
total.
five total up until 2028 is what I've read. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it wasn't like this movie wasn't successful. I'm not sure what the actual numbers were, but let's find out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if how that compared to at least the first one too. So
The box office numbers.
yeah, I'll look up Avatar 1 box office
Well, I'm sure we
numbers.
can find something like.
So opening week they made 77 million dollars.
Okay,
So you can find it on IMDb. What is this now? This is Avatar Box Office Mojo.
well, Avatar
It's
2
looks like
so
it's
far has made 1.7 billion already, but
opening week.
opening week, yeah, 45 million.
So they're under.
Yeah, yeah,
Which some of the stuff what I've been hearing from people is long wait, and I think a lot of people that weren't our age when that came out,
right,
that were kids, probably don't remember that first one.
sure.
If you know what I'm saying. If their parents probably didn't show it to them or whatever. So I get that. To me, the movie I like the first one better, but again, watching it being jarred for 3 hours straight, I want to watch it again, just because I think I missed a lot. I don't think it's going to change my opinion on me liking the first one better,
Right,
but I think it will change my opinion on. I think I missed a lot, man. You know what
because
I
those
mean?
dang
Because it's like,
chairs.
yeah, I mean, you are constantly moving, and then there's scenes. It's beautiful to be in the chair, though. I want to be honest. When you're going through those peaceful scenarios, it's almost like you're just kind of swaying back and forth, and it's kind of windy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Now that part of it was great, especially for that movie. One scene is when they were going towards that and into that where their Ewell was, or the underwater tree,
Sure, sure, sure.
and they would there and it's purple
Their
and blue.
their connection to AOL. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that part and that whole just kind of flow in there was great. A lot of when they're learning to basically be sea people, that was very peaceful, and
Yeah, you could run that. You could run some of those scenes as just some like tranquil moments. It's so beautiful.
yeah, yeah, and it's not bad being in the chair. It'd be like somebody pushing you in a rocking chair almost, just gently.
Yeah, I think I'm done with the
That's not
40X
bad.
stuff, but I get it.
Yeah, I'm never gonna
Yeah,
do it again, man. Never do it again, dude.
but yeah, it just kind of yeah, you bring it up. In fact, I was looking up pictures and images for the thumbnail we have here, and stuff, and I was like realizing I'm like, man, that like from top to bottom, that movie is just it's just gorgeous, dude. I mean, the whales, the sea life is insane and so creative. You're talking about coming from a guy like James Cameron, who's created most of our movie memories. But
Well, he enjoys the sea for
oh,
sure.
absolutely. But I thought
What'd you think about the new character, the animal, being able to communicate like
no,
that?
I think that's cool. I think that makes sense because even the first one they were communicating with the animals pretty.
Were they talking with him like that though?
I don't think it was that close of a connection, but I don't think it was anything that couldn't understand the language. I think it was just a
No, I think
connection.
it's that particular animal is highly intelligent.
Right,
Makes sense if you're thinking dolphins wise.
right.
Why wouldn't another sea creature be very smart like that? And with that kind of emotional connection to that island and everything, or that planet and everything else, that's a cool concept. I like that part of it. They have their own code
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's cool. But we talked about that when we did the Avatar 1. That it's very Indian way of life,
Right. It's a really Native American
one with the
approach,
land,
connection with nature.
but just but physically connected,
Hmm.
which is very cool to me.
Just one step forward. Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, and it's
You don't have to think about empathy. You don't have to practice it.
right.
It's pure empathy.
Sure, sure.
You can feel everything that everyone around you feels. That's pretty
Wait,
cool.
you have to practice empathy.
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
Mike's admitting to as a sociopath, but okay.
no, I'm very empathetic. I'm too empathetic, actually. But I'm just saying, like, some people I think probably have to, work on things like that.
Sure.
I don't think everybody's empathetic, buddy. And I think that's definitely a quality people work on.
I think like anything else, empathy's a spectrum, but yeah. But yeah, the movie
Empathize.
itself, like, so let's talk about this. What are your predictions for the daughter, right? The adopted daughter. She links up with Awa. She's the doctor's avatar.
Yeah.
Or the doctor
So
avatar
that's
gives
new.
birth to her. Is what it is. Gives birth
Yes.
to her,
Yes.
and
Right. No one knows who the dad is.
yes, and but she has this. Tries to link up with Awa, and has a seizure.
Yes. I think she's the key.
There's something brewing there. Yeah, something huge brewing there.
She's the key to the whole entire
I
thing.
think so too.
Because if she can touch and control everything like that, that's going to bring the entire planet on
Yeah,
when the war comes.
right. She'll be in control of everything.
Hmm. Now, will she pass away? Now, what do you think about uh, the doctor coming back?
That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. That she's gonna
Not well. I mean, maybe in the next
Yeah.
one. Do you think she'll come back?
maybe they'll find a way to get her connected through Awa.
So explain what happens to her, right? So she dies, basically does the same thing as Jake does, but doesn't come back
Well,
out.
she doesn't make it in time. She dies before she's
Right.
through Awa. Yeah,
Right. So she's inside her currently.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think both of those characters are going to be key
I agree.
coming movies. How? I don't know. I definitely feel more clear about my prediction with the young daughter. Because obviously, I mean, if you're making that many movies into 2028, are you killing off a main character
I mean, it's not usually.
and bringing forward?
I mean, it wouldn't be past James Cameron to do that. You know.
Yeah, you kill off maybe Jake Sully and you bring forward the daughter as the new.
Well, I thought they were going to kill off the wife at some point.
Well, see now, there's that whole side because she's losing her shit, and I doubt very seriously that's going to be. We're going to see a different. I think we're going to see a different wife in the next
Right.
one. From the death of her son.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna hurt it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you saw her kind of lose it, but in the idea of connection with Awa, I think she'll find an understanding and way to deal with it. I don't think it'll ever go away, but I don't know if we're gonna totally lose her. I think we'll lose her through
I
death.
think she's going to be like a beast woman. Just mad at
Everything.
those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about
Yeah.
the Way of Water. What are your predictions for the rest of the films?
I mean, I like the storyline. I mean, I don't. Like you were saying, hopefully a lot of what they're filming is, work for the other films, and they can actually pump those out in the next 5 years because that's a doable and reasonable amount of time to make movies if you're doing
Right.
that. To me, if you want to actually keep people interested, because I think it's almost like it's a rebuild from this point on because only because not all the way, but only because I think a lot of the audience that saw it now didn't watch it like we did when we were young, when it first came out, the first one. You know what I mean? So I think 5 years makes sense to me if you're trying to rebuild a brand
Okay.
that has been gone for 13 years. If you're actually trying, if you're trying to do a franchise, because I don't know if that was the intention originally, or maybe it was.
I don't know.
Do you know?
It felt tacked on. Like it felt like, oh, this became the highest grossest movie in the world. Let's make them 5 more.
No, it would make more. It makes sense that it took him that long, unless he was really doing research. But I don't think he was, because I think he was messing around on his boat and his little submarine thing and doing those
Yeah,
documentaries and
yeah.
things. And
Going down
so I
to
don't know.
find the Titanic again.
I mean, he is still making them. So
Yeah, they're happening. I mean, I don't think anybody at this point will say no. James Cameron, don't make another movie that's gonna make $1.7 billion.
no, and yeah, so you're not saying like to me it's not ruined. Take them for what you want
Right,
to take
right,
them
right.
for.
Like I said, if they're that quality, then I'm in. I'm in. Like they were good. They were
Yeah,
fun
if
to
you
watch.
want to watch just something beautiful,
Yes.
you're not going to get wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Visually stunning. I will deal with whatever of a story. It is pretty, man. So
yeah, so I heard people were thinking The Rock was in the movie. Did you hear that?
no,
You know who they thought The Rock
Who?
was? The chief of the sea
Oh,
people.
really? It doesn't matter who people thought The Rock was.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't get it. I don't see that. But
yeah, I don't see it either. Maybe the bald
I
guy.
would be interested to see the real cast, though. Have you looked at the actual
Yeah, it's a
cast?
lot of the guys from the other movie.
I know I've never actually looked at the cast from either movie. Have you actually? I know obviously the general guy
He's in.
from other movies.
Yeah.
He's because he was he was a real person in the 1st
Mhm.
part, the first one. So, and also Jake Sully, I know him, and then I know the wife, but everybody else I don't think.
Hmm.
I have any clue what they look like as real
Let's
people.
take a look at him.
Heck yeah, I'd like to. Let's just take a look. Yeah, I never really. Yeah. Oh, well, yes. Sigourney Weaver. Giovanna Ribisi, Stephen Lang, Michelle Rodriguez. They're all people.
Are you in the first
So
one?
this is the second. No, this is the first one.
Yeah.
Again.
So Stephen Lang is Quaritch. Kate Winslet plays Renault. Let's see.
Huh. That's funny. So let's see Avatar 2 cast. So Kate Winslet was in it.
Yeah, I just said that.
Who was she?
She was the female leader of the water tribe,
Oh, she was the
the
mom.
pregnant one. Yeah.
Oh, and that's who the. Oh, okay, that's who the chief
Yeah.
was. I know him. He's a good actor. That's interesting now, and I can put their faces together. I wonder if there's a website that shows you them side by side. I'm sure there is.
Oh, I'm sure you can find something somewhere. I'm sure.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Well, what's your final thoughts on the movie?
I've been waiting for it for a long time. I'm a big fan of James Cameron.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. I like that. It's new. It's not rehashed. It's its own thing. He's building an entire universe. And there's something to be said about that. That's pretty cool. And so I'll watch that and I'll check it out and see where it goes. Why not? Put a lot of effort into it. Visually amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I want to see how it ends up. So I liked it.
All right.
But I'm going to watch it again, though, in my recliner.
Yeah, exactly. Where it doesn't move. I felt the same way. I felt it was a beautifully made movie. I felt it was strong. I look forward to watching it again as well in the comfort of my home. So, all right, guys. Well, let's move on to the next segment. We have a brand new segment for you that we're trying out. Stay tuned. Here we go. We'll go do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new segment of the show. We're introducing this one today. It's something that we thought about doing for a while, but now we are executing. And what we've decided to do during the week of us watching these movies is Mike and I are going to deliberate over a top 5 list. So this segment will be called Top 5, and the top 5 list will be related to the movie that we've watched in some way. Just for example, kind of easy. This week's movie of the week was Avatar: The Way of Water. So what's our list for the top 5, Mike?
Top 5 James Cameron.
Top 5
movies.
James Cameron films. One of our generation's most prolific director. Directed 12 films really, but every one of them is better than the other. And let's get into it right away. So we did mention Avatar 2 as a start. So yes, we are throwing in Avatar 2: The Way of Water at number 5. Now this movie could fall and rise as this movie kind of marinates with us. But right now, coming off the honeymoon and watching this movie, I think it's in a great spot at number 5. I think the movie was really good. And, yeah. You ready for
Top 5?
Ready for number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4, we have James Cameron's sequel to Ridley Scott's horror movie. Let me read this intro. James Cameron's action sequel to Ridley Scott's horror sci-fi. We have Aliens at number 4. Are you okay with that, Mike? Yeah.
It should be on the list, for
It has to be on the list.
Where on the list?
Right.
Debatable.
Right. Debatable. This is the controversy that we have, and it's listed. We'll discuss the list
it's not
a little more
easy
as we
condensing
do
a
it.
list.
James
Cameron's a great director.
He is a great director.
So what do we got for number 3?
Number 3, we have the most controversial movie on the list, I think, between the two of us. We have Titanic.
Yes, it's on there.
It's on there. You're right.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
Made a lot of money.
Made tons of money.
Yeah.
But
So, what's number 2?
well, no. Here's the thing about that movie and the controversy behind it. Is that movie made a lot of money, yeah, but it also changed the game a lot. So, I don't know.
Changed the game as far as what,
Filmmaking, FX, yeah.
effects?
Yeah, audience tolerance for a film. That movie's 3 hours long.
It's very long, yeah.
There's kind of a thing throughout generations that movies kind of get this the length of a feature increases over time, and this is one that definitely helped that happen. The features were allowed to be longer after that. So, all right, number 2. Number 2, we have. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, I'm managing the list right here, down here, if you guys can see that. Number 2, we have the highest grossing film of all time. We have Avatar, the original.
Yes.
I like what this,
2 Avatar films.
yeah, I like this one where it's placed. I like the movie's amazing, so we'll keep at it. All right. And the number 1 James Cameron film, according to Mike and I, in which we'll discuss this list here momentarily. And this is a pure fanboy love of the movies film. We have True Lies. Just kidding. Terminator 2.
That's a
Judgment
great
Day.
movie, though.
It's an amazing movie. It is something that's
Well, True Lies.
something in
It's hard
support of
not
my
to get-
childhood.
Well, I'll tell you, it was hard for me not to put True Lies on the
And
list.
it's
Top 5 narrows it. It's really hard to do.
It's hard. And again, I want to
It's-
preface this list by saying every one of these movies is awesome.
They are.
Right?
And that makes it hard.
It does.
And that's going to be the hard part about we talked about this the other day, is the list that we're choosing are going to be very hard to consolidate and just to make in general. How do you put value on 12 great movies?
Right.
It's not
It's
easy.
not easy at all.
And obviously it's conversations. So let's get in. So I want to get into number 1. So Terminator 2, I think our number one spot's going to be the most controversial, right? Because everybody's going to have their own number one, more than likely.
Sure.
Or, hopefully, maybe they'll agree with us. But so, why do you think Terminator 2 deserves the number one spot?
For me and my list, because honestly, the way we do it is we both present a list and then we kind of negotiate the list through.
Yes.
It was but Terminator 2 was both of our number ones on both of our lists. The movie holds a major place in my heart just because of childhood and memories.
Right.
It is so, but it took the myth of the Terminator, which we saw a little glimpse of with Kyle Reese in Terminator, and don't get me wrong, I love that movie too, but we saw a little glimpse of it, and it just expounds on this whole legend of John Connor. Now John Connor's a character in the movie, not just a guy that's in this future flashback. He's his character.
So Terminator 2 came out in 91. So how old were you in 91?
We were 8, 9 years old.
Right. Perfect age for a movie like that.
Perfect age.
Now, 1984, Terminator 1 came out. You were 2 years old.
1 years old. But yeah, 2 years old.
1 year. Yeah. Right. So, 100% nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh, this is a from the gut nostalgia choice. But I'll tell you right now, to this moment, somebody can quote me that movie, and I will get it. Have you seen this boy? Or the shotgun scene? Like every time I play GTA and I'm in a little aqueduct bayou area, I think of this movie in the big 18-wheeler scene.
18-wheeler motorbike.
Ah, what a cool scene!
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Oh my god,
that is a great scene.
The movie's
that movie is so good. It really is.
So many great gems in the movie that are just amazing filmmaking. And again, you have the technology that was started in the abyss with the liquid people turn into the liquid metal. Poof.
Yeah, very cool
James
at
Cameron,
the time.
Industrial Light and Magic with that one.
Yeah,
coming in hot.
So let's get back into that then. You basically say Terminator 2 is the first time that you see the human emotion in the machine.
Right, that's another good point.
To that,
Terminator 1,
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a 100% robot villain.
cold-hearted killer.
Death machine. No emotion, nothing. And in the sequel, you get basically the beginnings of an entire franchise.
Right, and a franchise that, sometimes I wish it was handled a little better, but
sure.
But
there's some gems in there.
There are some gems in there.
There are a few. Salvation, that's a good one. There's a few
that people don't like. I liked Rise of the Machine, and I know that people don't necessarily like that one, but
yeah, I like a few of them. So yeah, but so I mean that's to me that's a very big selling point in your number one. That's the original franchise. Right. So clearly, Mr. Cameron's a franchise man. Huh?
Well, I think he just likes building universes and building worlds, and
he does.
And he's done a great job here. So
yeah, I think Edward Furlong's great in that movie. He was a very good child actor at the time.
Yeah.
I think he was a great child actor. He's maybe not necessarily. I don't know what he's doing now, but at the time, I thought, child actors can be hit or miss.
Right.
I thought he played that part pretty well.
He did. I enjoyed it. And, go back to lines that are quotable and all these things. Hasta la vista, baby, man. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's iconic.
And tell me if you didn't have a soul, but you didn't shed a little tear when you watched a machine melt itself in lava. Yeah. I mean, that's a heavy...
No, it's great. Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. You get to see the Judgment Day scenes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You get a lot more...
at the time, that was... amazing.
You get the juicy parts of what happened with Judgment Day, and because you heard about it through Sarah Connor's narration and stuff in the first one, or Kyle Reese's narration. Right. But
with the playground scene,
yeah,
swings, and
yeah,
up in flames. Yeah, and you get to see Sarah Connor's initial reaction, which is, in my opinion, so that initial scene when she's walking down the hallway and they're trying to break her out of the insane asylum, and she sees him for the first time, but then they end up getting in the elevator together. She's freaking out a little bit, but she adjusts fairly quickly. Just more pissed off at this thing.
Yeah.
The rest of this movie. And that relationship throughout the other movies is there too. She, you know what I mean? It's like a love hate kind of thing with them.
Sure.
You know, because of her initial. You know, I think that's pretty funny. Lyndall Hamilton
Brilliant.
ripped in that
Oh
movie
yeah, she's
too.
real good. Oh, dude,
She was amazing. She's a great female action star. In my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. The whole picking up the whole coffee card game scene and everything, the whole insane asylum thing, so
Yeah.
good. Skynet, all the original chips.
Yeah.
It's all the secular thing that
You know those
happened.
two
Uh huh.
twins, the little redheaded twins, and that's cool. They usually use twins to T1000 was
Yeah.
that's on. So what do you think? So I made this comment to you the other day about T1000. There's a scene when he's running after the cop car
Uh huh.
and he jumps and puts his hook into the back of the
Right.
trunk. And then it breaks off, and as he's driving off, this thing falls off onto the ground and kind of melts. And I remember seeing that when I was a kid. I was like, that is the freaking coolest thing ever. But I guess now when they've upscaled everything, it just looks like this big chunk of like aluminum foil that fell on the ground, and then it's like, you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Well, then
It's still so cool, but it's really cool to see that progression. You know, if you think about an Avatar 2 now, what do you think that liquid metal? I mean, that'd be just
I mean, you can
that was
see
a
it now.
perfect.
You can see it in
Yeah.
when you watch a high end Blu-ray of Terminator 2. It doesn't look great. You
No,
know,
not even no, but it's still cool though. I mean, it's still cool. It holds up. It just does because I don't know
it could be
why. It doesn't take
nostalgia.
away
It
from
could
it.
be nostalgia. You know.
I wonder though if somebody watching a little younger than us would think that. You know what I mean? If they saw it, I showed that to Michael when he was young. He loves the Terminator movies, so I don't think that it necessarily things have to be so 100% perfect. The movies hold up. I feel.
As long as the movie can grab you and hold you, as long as you're willing to be privy to this experience and this film viewing experience, and willing to go on the journey with the filmmaker, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect visually.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that Cameron does well. But Cameron's also a super nerd who isn't a perfectionist who is going to take 12 movies to make a movie, 12 years to make a movie.
Right. And it's so minor too because don't get me wrong, the movie still looks good.
It
It doesn't
does.
look horrible. It doesn't look bad.
Well, he
Yeah.
used enough practical effects in there. He used enough practical sets there to where, yeah,
Right. There's a few scenes that are a little weird when his eye gets shot and it's like
yeah,
he's like
yeah.
that looks a little off now. That used to look really cool. But isn't that the funny thing about the mind? How do you when you first saw something like that, that was cool. I mean that was it. There's nothing
Yeah.
else. That's it. That's the coolest thing there.
I call it the PlayStation effect. So if you go back and you play any game on PlayStation 1 that you played as a kid, now
Yeah.
having PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever you have,
Right. Yeah, same
it
principle.
hurts. It hurts to look
Yeah,
at it. Like, oh my
right.
gosh! But when you watched it initially, like Final Fantasy 7, I was immersed completely.
Yeah, yeah. You thought it was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in
Exactly.
your life. Now you're like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah. That's so cool though. That's so cool because you can compare that to is somebody that lives in say a place that has nothing and come into like a big city for the first
Mhm.
time. Imagine that feeling. You know what I mean? It's a similar thing. You have no perspective other than the one you had, right? That's just cool. I don't know. So, but yeah, this movie definitely holds up. I think it's definitely worthy of number one. But I do want to get more into talking about Aliens and Titanic.
Okay. Let's not hold these fine people too long on these subjects, but sure, we can discuss the elephant in the room, as it were.
Yeah, I just think Titanic is a great. I think Titanic is a great movie. Don't get me wrong, and exactly what you say for it hit all of those marks. It's the actual ship, everything, the storyline was good. My problem with it is it's just not my kind of movie.
Sure.
So for
Fair enough.
me, I have to say that respectfully, it's definitely a box office hit. definitely talked about, definitely award winning. So it has to be on the list. But my argument is going to be this, okay? If somebody approaches me and says, Mike, do you want to watch Aliens or Titanic?
You're gonna watch
I'm going to
Aliens.
say Aliens. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what
And
I'm gonna do?
I don't think that you wouldn't say the same.
It
90%
wouldn't
of the
be as
time.
quick of an impulse yes to Aliens as you though, because I do.
The
I
percentage
enjoy.
of
I
time you
enjoy
would say yes to Aliens over Titanic. Tell me.
50-50. It'd be 50-50. It's all about mood. I enjoy that movie, dude. I've seen it so many times. I enjoy it.
Do you watch a lot of dramas?
I
very
do. I
rarely
like
do.
drama.
Yeah. There's certain dramas I'll watch and some that I won't. Like I said, I don't disagree with you that it should be on the list. The thing is always everything is always going to be personal preference.
Sure.
You know what I mean? To be honest, the only thing that differed on our list was slightly in the order and Titanic, and I
You
believe
had True
my
Lies.
original Terminator 1
You
on
had
it.
True Lies instead of something too.
No, True Lies. Terminator
Oh,
1.
was it Terminator 1?
I put in my text to you that I would like to put True Lies on the list because I love that movie, but I can't, you know?
The movie's a great movie. Again,
Because
all
the guy's
these movies
making
that
some
James
really
Cameron
epic
made
movies.
are good.
Yeah, it's like say, hey, do a top five Stephen King. I mean, it's top five Steven Spielberg.
We're gonna get there eventually.
Right, but that's fucking hard.
It's hard.
He makes epic movies,
does.
dude. Kim makes epic movies, dude. So it's, the lists are hard, but definitely want to hear what people have to think. So, if you guys disagree or agree, comment and let us know. We just get a conversation going and see where we go with the top five list. If you guys like the list, if you want to keep doing them, if you have ideas for lists,
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, that's the whole idea.
we're all here.
Let's keep comments respectful.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
we're here just to communicate movies and how we love movies and discuss movies. And we've got some rough comments before, and we're learning from things. And I think that we'd love to hear some list ideas. If you think this list is totally crap and you think it should be True Lies, Abyss, Terminator 1, and
Yeah.
whatever it might be, then please put it on the list and let's talk about it.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Yeah,
Let's hear your list. In fact, let's hear your lists.
yeah. Let's hear your list.
Let's see.
Comment on the list. Let's
So-
see it. And if you haven't seen a James Cameron film, then I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if you think a lot of people are director people. They know who makes these films.
No, I found it. I found it in my nerd life as I progressed through this world as an Uber nerd, day in day out, the struggles of knowing everything. I've
your pop culture
Yeah.
genius. that
yeah, my
doesn't
trivia
expand
monster,
its
behemoth of a
billions of
brain. No, they do not. They do not. People do not know directors. They hardly know actors. They know the big celebs. But if you
Yeah, okay.
throw,
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays,
That's what I
yeah,
said.
it's hard.
Well, there are people out there that do for sure.
Sure.
But if you haven't, if you
And
don't,
those are
if you
the fun
don't know
ones
who James Cameron is, but you came here for Avatar 2, you can check out James Cameron movies, and I think you'll probably enjoy pretty much every one of them. If you're definitely an Avatar fan, you're gonna like.
He's a director that has a tone, much like Steven Spielberg. He has a tone, and yeah, I agree with that, Mike, 100%.
And I can tell you, like in the deleted scenes on the Avatar first movie, it got a real Terminator vibe from it for me.
Oh yeah, oh with the future city stuff,
Yeah.
with all the futuristic stuff.
Yeah, when they're walking through the
Yeah, I agree.
I really did.
There's definitely a tone. Okay, well, I think we will run the list for you one more time. Our top 5 James Cameron movies are Avatar 2: The Way of Water, Aliens, Titanic, Avatar, and Terminator 2. If you disagree with this list or have a comment on this list, please leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Let's move on to the news. All right, y'all. We've got news for you. We missed like 3 weeks, maybe close to a month. So there's obviously some news that we've missed. Things like James Gunn taking over the DC universe.
Yeah, that's
James
very cool.
Gunn recasting everybody in the DC universe.
Everybody but, I believe, the Batman franchise, the new one.
Yeah,
He's
and
changing.
that's still, and apparently the last note I heard from that is that it's because like someone was saying, oh, he's in the keep. what's his face, Twilight guy as Batman, and then he released a press release. James Gunn says like, I never said that.
Yeah.
So like we don't even know how that's gonna hold up. So
I would love to see an Affleck Batman.
we already saw an Affleck Batman,
No, like a standalone,
a standalone movie. I don't know if we're gonna get that, Mike.
just by itself. Why not?
I just don't think we're gonna get it,
Good
buddy.
Bruce Wayne. He's just too old now, anyway.
I don't think he wants to do it. The toll that takes on him to stay in shape.
I don't know. I'm not sure what he said.
Well, that's what he said.
Oh, is that what he said? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk trailer news. We've got a couple trailers. I think we got 5 trailers for you guys. We're gonna play them and we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna go ahead and start.
Let's do it.
We're gonna go ahead and start here. Here we go, and we're playing.
I am so sorry for what your daddy passed down to you. But I wanted a child, the greatest gift of my life.
I'm visiting my mother tomorrow.
Hi, Carrot. It's Mom. I'm just calling to say that I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. You're my angel, and I love you. Okay. I love you. Okay, bye, sweetie. I love you.
Are you at the airport?
I'm on my way. It's not safe, is it? What do you think I should do?
I'm sure you'll do the right thing, sweetheart.
Welcome back.
I hit you with my car.
What?
I know.
What was this?
That's my little assistant health monitor. Feeling sad about going home, Bo? Must feel totally unreal.
I'm supposed to be leaving.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You will walk many miles. Dozens will become hundreds. Hundreds will become thousands. Your adventures will continue for years and years.
I just need to get home.
I know.
Do you want the truth now?
Yeah, it looks strange.
Looks like a trip, right?
Looks pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Midsommar. Did they say that was a producer or the director?
It seemed like that was director. You didn't like Midsummer. I enjoyed it.
It started off, I don't know, it was fairly freaking weird. I don't know, it more creeped me out than anything. I don't know, it was creepy.
And then that was the idea. I don't know if you've seen The Witch. The Witch is kind of the same vibe, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So he did that one too?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were both very...
It looks like a trip. I think Joaquin Phoenix is a perfect for this.
Yeah.
I hope it has. I feel like it doesn't have some life affirming message at the end.
Yeah, it seems like it's a very there's a message there, I'm sure.
Get over your fears.
Yeah, is he think he's in this coma or something, and
Maybe, yeah.
he's imagining all this, or
He needs to get out of his fears.
I know. Yeah,
All right, you want to move on to the next one?
let's do it.
Your favorite actor.
Okay, where's that?
Why don't you start by telling us what brought you here?
My boss, he's different.
You can't get him out of your head.
No.
I need your assistance.
I'm coming, Master!
Oh, you feel like he could destroy you with
Mhm.
the snap of his
Igor?
fingers.
Wouldn't even need to snap.
Okay.
Exactly.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, what?
Renfield, bring in innocent victims. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
And I just want a normal life again. But this modern world is a dangerous place.
Thank you. You saved my life.
No, that's
Did
a
I
cool
watch you
take.
cut a guy with a decorative serving platter?
It's all in the wrist. Let me explain. My boss gave me this power. In return, I tend to his needs, including care, feeding.
You bring in people to eat? You're like the guy that gets the villain's Postmates.
But if you were to stop focusing on his needs, what would happen?
He won't grow to full power.
Exactly. He won't grow to full power. What? That's so weird. Why would you phrase it like that? But yes. Hi. Are you here for the meeting? Well, come on.
Some call me the Dark One.
We got Guy Pearce.
The Lord of Death.
Yeah.
To most, I am Barack.
Obviously, we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
Let's eat.
That looks awesome, right?
I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. It's a cool take on
Dialpad's
Renfield.
AI sales has
Yeah, a
completely
character that I
transformed how
feel
we
like
sell.
has never really-
AI is built right
Hold on
in
a
for
second.
life coaching.
Never. He's just
speed
a weirdo. Never ate a bug and got those powers like that. That's a cool take.
Yeah.
And you know, you got the iconic, notorious Nicolas Cage as
Yeah,
Dracula.
as Dracula, right? That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Which makes sense that he would want to do that. I think he bought a castle. Doesn't he own a castle?
Oh, he's a weird guy.
Yeah, he's a strange man.
He's a strange one. He's very into the occult.
Did you ever get around to watching the Nicolas Cage thing?
No, I never did. Yeah, I'll watch it tonight when I
you
go to
gotta
bed.
watch it. It's so funny. It's funny, and I don't know. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it when I go to bed. All right, for the next, we're gonna start moving into more of the, I guess, the stuff that we're usually doing.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
Hold on. All right, here we go. Here we go.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time, like me. We can help each other with that.
Who are you?
I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want.
What's that?
Time.
He can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
Let me make this easy for you. You will bring me what I need, or everything you call a life will end.
This is all my fault.
You may not want her to watch this.
We had a deal.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win.
We both just have to lose.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
That looks good. The stakes look real on that one.
Yeah, the trailer looks so bomb. Hold on a second.
I had seen a version of that without the ending where they fight. That looks pretty cool. I like that actor too.
The guy playing Kang.
Yeah, and also the girl that he was talking to on the couch. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the movie before.
Yeah. But yeah, the Kang, it has real stakes. That's going to be our next big bad is Kang.
So what is his whole thing? He can change things.
Yeah, he's from I don't know how they're doing it in this universe, but in the comic, he's like from the year 3000, and he can time travel and change timelines and stuff like that.
Okay.
Extremely powerful.
I got you.
So, all right, for the next little Marvel gem that we're gonna get next year, this year,
Right.
this year.
I'm a fan of this franchise.
I feel like so is everybody else. I think it's gonna be good. Ready? Here we go.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians. Hello, we come in peace. Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No!
Don't forget where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives.
Pete, I'm done running. We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the forever and beautiful sky. And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
You had a great song in the trailer.
Yeah, dude, it's James Gunn doing it again. His
That's
last foray for for Marvel for as long as we might know.
Oh, I feel like I don't know. I don't get tired of the Guardians movies.
But yeah, James Gunn's moved to DC. He's not going to be making Marvel movies anymore.
He did finish this one though.
He did finish this one. This is his last one.
Well, he belongs with me in DC.
Oh, does he belong with you? That's a reference to our friend group and him might being the only DCEU fan out there.
Well, to preface, I like the animated movies.
And I do too.
Yeah. And I like, one or two of the others. Maybe three, maybe four.
I can't say that it's one that I actually watch again.
Not one.
Not one. All right, here we go. Moving into the next
Maybe
one,
we'll
guys.
change your mind.
Maybe.
I miss the
Peacemaker.
desert. I miss the sea. And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
I
it's not.
I don't believe in magic. But a few times in my life, I've seen things. Things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
related.
Get back.
What the hell? Everybody's got a gun now, buddy. That's hilarious. That's going to be so good.
Listen, okay, so a few key points about this movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. First Indiana Jones film not directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, really?
Is it a blessing or a curse? Curse of the Crystal Skull was not a good film.
It did not look bad.
Did not look bad. Has a
No,
more
he
modern.
did Curse of the Crystal Skull?
Yeah.
That was not good.
But at least we got a little more modern touch to it.
It looked like there was some good dialogue in there, too.
Yeah. He helped write it. And he produced it and helped write it.
I just hope that they don't, because he's very old. I hope they don't make his stunts so freaking crazy. You know?
I don't think they will. I think we will see a legitimate patching of the torch here.
Who's also in the movie? Who's supporting?
It's that one guy that was I forget what he's in. You know him. Hold on.
What's the name of the Indiana Jones?
The Dial of Destiny.
Oh, Mad Marsden, is he the bad guy?
Yeah, that's
it's Boyd Holbrook.
Yeah.
It's the guy from Wolverine.
Yep.
And Aliens. Or Predator.
Yeah, he's the
No, he's in Logan, not Wolverine.
But he's the one that I think's going to get the torch passed. Naz Marsden plays a good old Nazi again. No more Soviets. We're fighting Nazis. Indiana Jones fights Nazis. Okay?
Nazis.
He doesn't have a problem with communism, I guess, but he hates National Socialism to the core.
He doesn't. Well, as well as other things, yeah.
Yeah. But good old Nazis in the movie. You need that. That makes an Indiana Jones film. I think it looks awesome. I'm excited. I was kind of hesitant, but then I saw the trailer. I'm like, nope, I'm on board.
Yeah.
The Indiana Jones franchise has such a place in my heart, and I know most people's hearts. Like literally, you hear that theme music, and you're on a place of adventure. I mean, gosh.
Yeah, it's the original adventure music.
It is. I'm running around my living room listening to that music. All right, well, that was the news, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we'll keep track of what's going on with these movies. I'm sure we'll talk about some of them, or some of them we'll just forget they even existed. But right now, let's go talk about what we watched this week, and we will talk about what we watched this week. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome back. We want to talk about some recommendations for you that we've watched in the previous weeks that we have not been on. So we wanted to kind of, before we go out, talk about movies that we each recommend for you. Mike will start us off.
Yes, I watched number 1, Rambo 2, Rambo First Blood 2, Part 2. The sequel to Rambo First Blood.
Right. Rambo
And
number 2, First Blood Part 2.
First Blood. Rambo First Blood
The
Part
one
2.
that's called Rambo, but it's First Blood Part 2. Yes.
It was weird, a weird title.
Yeah.
That's to me.
But this
Yeah.
when I was looking at the posters for this movie, it was super nostalgic for me. Because it reminds me of like an NES case. Remember those big old NES boxes? It's all boxed
Just a
in.
dude in
Yeah.
orange. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I love that movie. You know, it's cheesy, but it's so good. You know, it's action at its top. I feel like just it's very nostalgia for me, though. I mean, I love me some Rambo. So that one in particular, that's the one where he is going to get the POW. Or first, he's supposed to just see if there's POWs, and he's working for like a CIA guy. You know, and gets in there, and they leave him there, and basically, you know, it's him getting all these POWs out and getting back there so he can, you know, show this guy that left him in Vietnam that he's a badass. So he ends up making it back. So that's the premise of this one. It takes place right after the first one. He was, I don't know if you know the first one where he's
Tell everybody.
straight out of the war, and he's wandering through the woods, and he gets pulled over by a cop that just
Brian
doesn't like vagabond.
Dennehy.
Brian
Not
Dennehy,
just any
yeah.
cop.
He said,
Brian
I just don't like
Dennehy.
the way you look, boy. And, you know, you got to get the hell out of here,
Oh, yeah.
you know? And he makes it go. And so he ends up killing everybody in the town, all the cops.
Well, I gotta tell you, Mike,
And-
I haven't watched this movie in, I'd guess, about 30 years, maybe 25 years. It's been a long time since I've watched Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
Me too.
I've watched First Blood a lot because I think the First Blood's a brilliant movie. I feel like this is where they start kind of.
No, it was nominated for Academy
Yeah,
Award.
First Blood was, yeah. All right, what else you watch? Keep it going.
I also watched
You did.
Michael Jai White,
You did watch
Todd
Spawn,
McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane, Michael Jai White.
the original Spawn. I believe they're making a new one. Jamie Foxx. So I thought I'd check out the old one. I still like it. It's still good. John Leguizamo is in it. You got Martin Sheen in it. His character is hilarious to me now, though, watching it again, because he's like, you're just, I'm a villain.
I'm so nefarious. I'm gonna have secret
Yeah.
meetings.
And he's a good actor.
You'll never
too,
catch
so
me,
I don't know.
Spawn.
Yeah, he's in Apocalypse Now.
He's Martin Sheen. He is the everybody's favorite
Freaking good.
president in the United States in the West Wing.
He's a great
He's a
actor.
great
so
actor.
to see him doing that in that movie was pretty funny. Not a bad movie though. I mean, it holds up.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Let's hold on. Let's
I mean, it
pump
holds
the
up
brakes
as
on
far
that.
as it still looks cool. You know,
I
Like,
think it was a
the
movie. It
action
was a good
sequences
movie
look
for
cool.
its time. I saw that movie in the theaters with my brother.
Well, the cool thing about it is Michael Jai White is a karate guy,
Yep.
and so the action scenes look really good. I mean, that's him. You know, as far as digitally,
Yeah, no, the effects look rough. And again, it's a good movie for that time, and I hope that they make the new Spawn a good movie for this time.
a good example of, what you call the PlayStation effect, for sure. Because when I went back to watch it, I was like, I don't know, the little subtle things like the green would cross his face. You almost can't even see it in some of the scenes now. And then, just, I don't know, little things. Them going to hell looks completely fake.
Yeah.
Anything there, he's going through a warp. It's just horrible.
I mean,
horrible.
you couldn't. Like we talked about. Okay, so we talked about a lot, and this is a fact I didn't mention in when we talked about Avatar earlier, and I feel kind of remiss not to mention it. But it took so. Whenever you build big environments like that, even whenever I edit this show, right there, and I put a little bit of effects in there, there's render time. Now, our render time is minimal. It's an hour, maybe 30 minutes sometimes to render everything, put it all together, make and export it as an MP4. But like in The Way of Water, you're talking about render times of months. That's part of the reason why it took so long. The environments were so lush and detailed. It took months for the computer just to sit in the corner and render it. Months. Yeah. Now we bring up with Spawn is they have full VFX, digital VFX environments, but they didn't have the technology to use it. And I bet the render time was days or weeks. Excuse me, days or weeks for Spawn. But it just wasn't there, and you can't put that on them because it was tough.
No, I mean what it was
Yeah.
at the time. It was cool. That was a great movie.
Sure, it was a perfect time for what it was.
Yeah.
For when it was.
Yeah.
All right, what else did you watch?
Also I've been watching the TV show Tulsa King, which was the reason I watched Rambo.
Oh, guess get your Stallone on.
Sylvester Stallone's main character. Yeah, he plays a gangster straight out of prison. Did 25 years for his family. Gets out, and there's a little bit of bad blood. For different reasons, you'll find if you watch the show. But they end up sending him to Tulsa, basically to
Tulsa, Oklahoma, the armpit of America.
Right. Well, the reason is because it's basically wide open to basically come in there and strong arm people.
Right. Okay.
And there's a lot of opportunities with marijuana. It's legal in Oklahoma now. Well, medicinally with the card, right? And there's dispensaries everywhere, and also fields and different things like that. So he gets the instant he gets to Tulsa, that's what he gets involved in, is this marijuana dispensary owned by the guy from Freaks and Geeks, one of the friends. He's in a bunch of Judd Apatow movies. He's the one with the beard that they mess with and knocked up for so long because he has that huge beard.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy from Silicon Valley.
Nerdy guy.
Hold on.
You know him from Silicon Valley. Yeah, he's the mean one from Silicon Valley, right? I don't know his name, but okay, but yeah, he's the weed dispensary dealer guy, and he basically strong arms this guy, and then you find out some different things.
Martin Starr.
Cast. Martin Starr. Yeah, his name is Martin in Silicon Valley too. So
it's not.
Yeah,
it's Guilfoyle.
It's a good
Silicon Valley.
What is he in Martin?
I don't know.
He's Martin in something. Oh, he's in Martin and Knocked Up.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole kind of group of guys that hang out together. Anyway, so go ahead, finish with Tulsa King. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's I like it. There's 2 seasons so far. Well, it's week to week. I think it's on the Paramount Network, so I think we're on episode 9, coming up on 9 maybe this Sundays. So I like it. It's interested in Michael. Michael watches it with me, so
that's good.
Usually an indication he's young, so he likes it. So
all right.
Yeah, I recommend.
All right then. Are all 3 of those recommendations, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
You heard it here first, kids. All 3 of those recommendations for Mike.
Yeah, I like them if you like comic book movies. Spawn is a great character.
Yeah. Created by Todd McFarlane in the early 90s. Yeah.
Talking about Todd McFarlane, he did Venom. You can see the similarities.
Well, he did a whole run on Spider-Man and the X-Force. Yeah,
Spider-Man too. You see those similarities.
That's where he drew Venom is through Spider-Man. He did it.
Yeah, so if you're a fan of comics, you got that going for you. And Rambo, Ultimate Action Hero.
It was. He
had a kind heart.
They made a Hot Shots movie about him. So
yeah, he has a kind heart.
You did it.
Rambo.
You made it whenever you've had a Hot Shots movie made about you. All right.
He just wants everybody to love him.
We're gonna get into mine. We're getting into mine. Enough about Rambo. Okay. I watched this week. My first one I want to mention, The Pale Blue Eye.
Okay. What you think?
Christian Bale plays an investigator or detective of some sort. They don't ever give his credentials, but they need his help. Anyways,
yes.
In finding a murdered Army cadet at West Point. This is during the time where Edgar Allan Poe was at West Point. So you're talking about the 1800s, right? Early to mid 1800s. Edgar Allan Poe is a cadet who aids him in the investigation. The Edgar Allan Poe characters, the guy that played Dudley from Harry Potter, the fat cousin, is skinny Edgar Allan Poe.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, and he's really good. He pulls that southern accent off real well. I liked the movie. I know that it's gotten some mixed reviews here and there, but I enjoyed it. I think this whole time period in America is a really crazy time, right? Any time from, in my opinion, like the late 1600s to the post-Civil War is this very almost creepy time in America, right? There's a lot of mysticism still gathering around. There's a lot of almost haunting, and the woods are still so unsettled, and nerve wracking.
Get away with a lot of
Right,
nonsense.
and there's a tone
in
that brings that with it, and they absolutely nailed that
Right.
tone. I think the desperate winter that the investigation takes off, it feels desperate.
You get that tone for those movies at the time. Do you get that like dark and dreary
Exactly.
kind of foggy?
Exactly, like
Yeah.
through the trees.
I feel like a lot of movies hit
Yeah.
that.
Through the trees,
that time.
the fog knows no end. Right, it's just you can see a few trees, and it's just endless.
Right.
The
Yeah.
tone's good.
That's good.
The twist is a really good twist in it. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it. I didn't see the twist coming. It got me. I enjoyed the performances. Robert Duvall jumps in for
He's
a
in it?
scene. Yes, sir. Mr. Robert Duvall plays a.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's in it. He's in it for a scene, and he's brilliant.
Robert Duvall reminds me of my grandpa for some reason.
Robert Duvall. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, because Lions, what was that movie? Lions.
The one with him and Michael
Michael Caine. Yeah, Lions.
Oh, I forget.
That was a
good movie.
Too.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, they're like farmer guys. That's such a good movie. Yeah, that's a definite recommendation. I'm gonna watch that again. That was a time when that came out. When Secondhand Lions.
There you go. Secondhand Lions.
During this time in 2003, I feel like right around that time, there was a ton of really great movies similar to Secondhand Lions. Wasn't that right around when Life of Pi was coming out and
Sure.
stuff like that?
A real affirmative tone in the world because we needed it. We were at war.
like those-
Yeah. You start see you, like so. If you notice, if you look through, if you correlate history with the film industry in the last 100 years, you'll notice that once you're in a time of war, you have real hopeful films. You have real, almost escapist films. Like the idea of film itself roots from the Depression, and getting away from that escapism. And so
that's one thing you don't get is the happy. You don't get your happy endings all the time in life.
and you get a lot, but you see a lot more of that type of film during peacetime.
Right.
So, all right. Well,
Yeah,
the next one I watched after that is the sequel to Knives Out. I watched The Glass Onion. Okay.
I love that movie.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
And I loved how our detective Daniel Craig is in the middle of it, like, no, it's just so dumb. Everything's dumb. That's a great scene.
It's so funny, man. I love that Edward Norton plays, because there's that thing that goes around about him that he is just like this hard person to work with. And his character in this is perfect to kind of like, he's the complete opposite. He's the butt of the joke, you know what I mean, in this movie. And I think that's great. He does a great job. What'd you think? Did you call it?
No. I mean, I kind of toward the end, maybe I kind of started to think that there could be something like that happening. But
right.
Yeah,
I don't think this is what we should.
No.
spoil,
I'm not going to. I'm trying to keep away from the spoilers.
Thrillers like that. It's like the whole.
That's the whole purpose of
point
watching that movie.
Yeah, that chase. That's nice. I love those kind of movies.
I didn't see it quite coming up. I did notice, and this might be a little spoiler, but if you listen to Edward Norton's dialogue throughout the movie, I did notice that there were certain things he would say. I'm like, what does that mean? Like no, that doesn't make sense at all. Like I'm thinking, oh, maybe we'll just give it to the writer. Maybe just, but then like it's Rian Johnson. He knows how to write a movie, and so
Oh, they do the callback.
Yeah, they do a little callback to that. So keep an eye on that.
It's if you pick up on that, that's awesome. Yeah, what'd you think compared to the first one? Which one's like better?
I think I liked the first one better just because it felt like the first of its kind. Well, like, maybe the first time of its kind in a while, right? It's obviously a murder mystery, all these things, but we had kind of a real kind of Clue style.
Good one, yeah, a good one, right?
Yeah,
one that you're just not like in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah. But that's not to say that this movie wasn't bad. This movie is very good. Very much enjoyed it. I feel like one Sunday I'm gonna sit and watch them side by side.
Right.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like how they kind of spin off. He's kind of in a like a little slump. You know, he's kind of looking for something to do.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean? This takes place right after
during COVID.
COVID.
Yeah, during COVID.
So I don't know. I'm guessing this is a post. I guess this is after the original.
Yeah. That's my
anyway. Guess. He's established detective.
I think he was in the first one too. I'm gonna go back and watch it again. But all right, so the next movie I watched, and this is also heads up for our Oscar episode, is my current pick for Best Picture. But a movie that I heartily endured from start to finish, and feel if I watch that movie again, I will enjoy it from start to finish again. I watched The Fabelmans.
Yeah, that's a very
This
good
movie's
movie.
so good. And it really is a Steven Spielberg autobiography. It truly, truly, truly is, in every sense of the
It
word.
definitely is, because he was the very end of it sums it all up.
Oh man,
That
what a
last-
great bit of dialogue, right?
Yeah, I like that.
You know, where's
The
the
movie ended
horizon?
great.
I think that was supposed to be Robert Ford, right?
Yeah.
Where's the horizon? Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, I looked up the director of Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, but he was a producer. So my question is,
Producer or whatever. Yeah.
hold on.
What's your question?
Oh, I'm gonna take that again. Just give me a second, dude. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take it back again. I'm gonna take it to Ford Fabelmans again. It's John Ford, and I'm not making that mistake.
So,
I said Robert Ford, who's one of the running mates in the Jesse James gang. All right, there we go. And so the last movie I watched is my pick for action in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. All right, so the last movie I watched that I want to talk about is my current pick for the Best Picture. A movie that I loved from start to finish, and I'm sure I'll watch it again. I will love it from start to finish. That's The Fabelmans. It's really, really awesome, and it truly is a autobiography of Steven Spielberg. There's just amazing scenes. Him moving into different cameras as the technology got better is really cool to watch. Really fun. That whole byline of family life and how chaotic that is, and him growing up in a time like that, and eventually going off to direct Jaws, and it's amazing. There's a great scene at the end when he's talking to John Ford. He's talking about the horizon, right? And where there's a horizon. And the horizon's on the top, it's interesting. When the horizon's on the bottom, it's interesting. The horizon's in the middle, it's bleeping boring. Yeah, that's great. It's a great scene.
It's a good scene. It was quick because he sits there for hours waiting to talk to this guy, and then he goes in there for 2 seconds and leaves.
Gets turned away for working with him.
Happy.
It's like come back later.
But leaves happy because he understands. I felt like that was almost like him. I don't think I think that was his way of letting him into the game.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean?
Like if you got what it takes, go get what it takes. And I think, and that's what a lot of this generation, that generation of filmmakers did. That's the Coppolas, that's the Lucases, that's the De Palmas. Those are all these close knit group of guys that grew up in that time and made these movies.
Yeah. No, that was a great movie for sure. The dynamic, the father son dynamic, the family dynamic, the drama. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty interesting little story as far as his family life.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know how that accurate that is. I'll have to watch the Spielberg documentary.
Yeah, I wonder.
But
and I like Michelle Williams and Seth Rogen, and who plays the dad?
It's Paul Dano.
Good. Paul Dano, that's his name. Yeah, great cast. Great movie. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the number one runner for me as well for Oscar.
For Best Picture, right?
Picture. So far,
it was just too good.
That actually is worthy, movie worthy.
I think this year, as far as like big Best Picture noms, I don't think there has been that many. And of course, we're going to get a list soon, and we'll be able to talk about that list when it comes out. But I don't know. I think that's it, though. I think that's our episode this week. We're going to do something a little differently this week, guys. We're not going to tell you what we're going to watch next week. We want you to come back and talk about it in here and figure out.
Check it out. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. Make sure you like and subscribe down below, please. Tell your friends about it. Share it. We're going to have this top 5 section by itself also. So if you just want a little quick thing to digest, there it is. We really hope you enjoyed this episode, and really thank you guys for being here and listening and laughing with us. And sorry I'm a little under the weather, but maybe my voice will be back next week and I'll be more energetic. Other than that, for the Tim and Mike Show, I'm Tim. Go watch some movies.